light going. Some filter, our chat filters turned off so I can actually see what people have to say. Sorry I'm running late. Later than normal. But yeah, I decided I wanted to do one of these. I hadn't done one of these in a hot minute. So I'm not sure which one I want to do. That one is fantastic. That's a maybe. There's quite a few that I've already done, but I do have the other copy to do, so. Let's see. That's a possibility. I feel like I did that one on the other side for some reason. We haven't done this little gentleman yet. Let's see. I am indecisive. There's quite a few that I really love in here. But I think this is the vibe I'm going for today. As always, she is one of my favorite artists. Incredibly talented woman. I feel like it's been a hot minute since I've been on. I know it's not that long. I think I was on Thursday. But this was a very hectic weekend, so that might have something to do with it. There we go. I haven't done this book in quite a while. But I don't want to just sit and finish my two newer books without doing anything in my 3 dozen other books. No, I do plan to actually get more, believe it or not. Is there really ever any such thing as too many of them? If we're being honest. I am actually paying attention a little bit to how many people are in here at the moment. When I actually have a decent amount, I'm going to throw an idea out there. Something I think will be fun in the coming year. So, definitely an idea that I've been kicking around for a hot minute now. There we go. I love the whole grayscale coloring book concept. It makes it so much easier because the shading is already there. So I don't have to go back and kind of create. Hello, Jean-Pierre. And I see I've got a few people in here, so I'd love some input. And I'll mention it back and forth for a while before I make a decision. But I'm wondering if people would be interested in sending me art to color on my lives. And obviously I would tag pages if you have them and call out artist names and things like that. But I think it would be a really fun way to engage with people. So I'd love to hear what people think of that idea. I am doing well. How about you? So we've almost got that part done. Let me just go over with my finger a little bit to soften it. That's where I am a fan of the heavier stock paper for that ability. We're going to go just a bit lighter for this part. Not that we really have to make a big difference in it because the background is already lighter, so it's going to be a bit softer no matter what. Always loved this type of sleeve. Let's see. You may hear my birds. They are all upset with me because I did the terrible, horrible thing of a deep cage cleans today, which means all of their toys, all of their blankets, all of their everything gets cleaned, and they get offended, which is kind of fun and kind of funny, actually. Don't feel like the color on this is showing as much as I'd like. It is a really pretty purple, and on my page, it's a really pretty purple. But for some reason, it's not showing it as strongly for you guys. But we can go back over it with... I may actually have to put my cockatiels down for a nap here in a second. Hello, Vixie. How are we doing today? I'm just kind of going back over the purple with another purple that's a little bit shimmery. Just to kind of add a little bit more depth because I'm not thrilled with how much is coming through for you guys. Calliope, why are you yelling at me? Thank you, thank you. If you're wondering, the artist's name is Selina Fenech. She is incredibly talented. I have three of her coloring books now. I want more, and I will probably buy more because I have no self-control. She's an incredible artist. She does have a page here on YouTube and on probably most of your socials. I'm going to use the shimmery purple to do these pieces. I had a little moment there as I got a notification that thinking that I forgot to do my do not disturb again, but I really, really did not this time. It has happened in the past. I have been known to forget to turn my do not disturb on. Well, that causes problems. Let's see. What do we want to do next? I think we're going to go over her hair with a gold. Now, since her hair is dark, this is going to make her look like a dark net rather than like a blonde. But it works for me. And I do like using metallics as hair colors rather than trying to do browns and stuff like that. Excuse me for 1 second there. This weather has just made a mess out of everything. It's got everybody out here coughing and sneezing and sniffling a lot. And that is simply, it decided to get stupid cold with no warning. Let's see. haven't done a dragon in shades of green in a hot minute, so I think we're going to do that. I'm just pulling out a few different shades of green for that. And of course, a green gel pen, because why not? And I think we're going to go from lightest to darkest and work our way through. Now, I know this is appreciated, and I don't necessarily have to go in and create depth, but I want to. It's one of those things I actually do very much enjoy on certain types of pictures. There we go. I cannot draw, but I can trace. And I can color fairly decently. Hello, Tegan. How you doing today? I am absolutely fed up with cold weather, but there's not much I can do about that. I kind of actually like how this brighter green is coming out on this. It's not the permanent color. We're going to go in with some of the others and add details because why not? But it's definitely a really good base. Haven't done a green drawing in any of my books in quite some time, so this should be kind of fun. I think I've done shades of red, shades of purple, and blue, but I haven't done a green. We were due for it. It looks like, I don't know, weirdly sweet. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone else, or if I'm just the crazy animal person who will someday meet my end by petting something I shouldn't. But yes, to me this dragon looks like it's very, very sweet. Something in the way that eyes are done. I think I need to sharpen. The everlasting question of where did I put my sharpener? Someday I'm going to pay attention at the end of my live to where I put the silly thing. But apparently the last one was not the day that I was going to do that, so it's in here somewhere. There it is. Would it be a live stream of mine if I didn't misplace my sharpener at some point or another? That and a pencil break seem to be just my standards. The things that must happen every time. But that's a bit better. Getting there. Not like we have the entire body left to do or anything. And this is one of those things I love with grayscale books as opposed to your standard coloring book. If I really wanted to, I could just color the whole dragon and leave it at that. And it already has a lot of depth. I'm not going to do that because I'm a glutton for punishment and I have a vision for this thing. But I could if I needed to. We are making a progress here. I'm always hoping to see more of my familiar faces pop in, but I know I'm running behind schedule today, so I'm not on quite the exact time frame I normally hit. I usually try to be a little closer to on time, but as I was setting up, my dog informed me he absolutely had to go outside, so I would rather be a few minutes late going live than have to clean up a mess in the house because I didn't listen to my dog. I'm sure a lot of people can probably understand that one. So this one I'm not going to go super, super heavy with. We're just going to kind of go in on some of the bigger plates, kind of the underbelly, and give it more of a jewel tone almost. And I definitely like that. I'm a huge fan of color stacking, whether I'm doing it with, excuse me, with paints or colors, like pencils, markers, things like that. You can always achieve just a slightly different color than what you have on hand by taking what you have on hand and kind of mixing it in different ways. Oh, I just noticed that. I missed a foot. Mr. Dragon here is just wrapped all around her. Or Miss Dragon. I wouldn't know how to tell the difference on that. And I think we're going to take this guy. The only thing we're going to do with that green is the eye. Because it's just a nice shimmery green. But it's a very different tone. And I think it just really pops out nicely. I actually really like that. Okay. I am not complaining at all there. This is kind of an olive tone that's very light. We're going to use for the horns. Just to give them a little color. They don't need a lot. Ooh. Sorry if that was noisy. I have very thick, very curly hair, and sometimes it likes to curl around my earpiece and aggravate my ear until I have to do something about it. Let's see. think I'm going to take a break from him and give her some skin tones real quick, just because I'm a little bit uncertain of what my next color for him is going to be. And she does need skin. We don't want her to look too fake sitting out there. Not fake. Alive? There we go. And now she has skin. That's a little bit better, isn't it? And I think one thing I do want to do is come in with my silver pen. Just kind of outline the stuff a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I want to keep it the purple, but just a little bit of shimmer here and there. Just adds a little something to it, I think. My cockatiels are back to hollering at me. Not a real big surprise there. I did notice she has kind of this piece on her forehead. There we go. And I know you guys don't see it all that much, but trust me, it does make a difference. It adds just a hint of a metallic shimmer, and of course it doesn't want to catch the light like I want it to. But trust me, it is there. The other thing we're going to do is add just a little bit. Now that one, it seems like you guys can actually see a little. There we go. Give him a sparkly eye, because why not? Now, actually want a much deeper green. And this is just probably going to take me forever, but it just adds that little bit of added definition. And you can kind of see it when you look at this compared to down here, over here, where I didn't do that yet. And this is one of those many things I like with grayscales, is you don't have to, but you can still definitely get away with adding definition of your own. Adding those little bits of layers. And this is not the most exciting part, but thankfully, as I said, I may not be able to draw, but I can trace. I also sent my sharpener flying across the room, apparently. That's always fun. I'll reach down and grab that here in just a second. Okay. Normally I can trace. Apparently I'm less good at tracing the smaller things. That's another good thing though, is we can just go in and do that. And it looks like I did it on purpose. It might have been a little bit of a cheat, but it worked, so I mean, there is that. Here we go. This is where it gets a little tricky. And this is where we'll also be using that little shading trick again. So we do want to soften it into the picture a little bit. Didn't realize we'd managed to make it into the upper 20-minute range. And something I had mentioned before, for those who aren't here, I am taking thoughts and suggestions on the idea of getting myself a P.O. box and letting people send me their art to color with recognition and channel tags if you have it, of course. I know not everybody has their own channel yet, but if you're somebody who's trying to get noticed as an artist, stuff like that can be a lot of fun. And I'm always on the lookout for good new art. One of my favorite ways to find new artists is coloring, so it could definitely work in everybody's favor. But I'm not giving out my home address, and I'm not spending the money on a wow, my brain just went. P.O. box until I actually know people are interested. Please pardon me as I am just dropping everything today. It's a skill. And now we're going to add a different shade of green. I was going to use the green I was using, but I tossed it under the table and I don't feel like going searching for it, so that's not an option. We're going to go back through and add other colors to this though, so. There we go. Just kind of gives it a base color. And now we can have a little fun. I'm actually very happy with how this is turning out so far. My conures are now requesting my attention, which is about par for the course. They were both conked out for a good while after being mad at me for about an hour nonstop. There we go. We're going to hit my 30-minute mark, which always makes me happy. Is what I think the bare minimum I should be live is. I'm one of those, I have to kind of hold myself to a specific, like, you gotta do at least this much. Because otherwise, my brain goes into get it done fast and move on to the next thing. And that doesn't serve any of us very well, does it? go. And of course, we have to have some blue and purple flowers because I have not used blue on this page. And that is a whole problem for me because I gotta have my blue. And speaking of which, of course, my throat has decided to go super dry without warning. I guess it's a good thing I have my coffee. There we go. Yes, I have decided to do a bunch of blue flowers because why not? It's one good thing with colored pencils, and if you know me, if you've listened to me before, you've heard me say it multiple times, is you can get multiple shades from one pencil just by how hard you press down and what angle you're holding it at. So that's probably one of my favorite things. Let's see. We've got some trees at the back that still need a little bit of color to them. And let's see. We're almost done with this one. But you can't leave the background with nothing. It's just not right. Even if you're going light, you still got to do something with it. I'm still going to have to come in with a little bit more green and get those leaves. Okay. Let's see. Let's use my nice bright green here. And once again, neat little trick you can do with colored pencils is get multiple shades from one individual. And now I just need my super light blue. I'm going to do just a hint of color, just for the sunlight coming through there. Maybe little peaks of sky. But that is going to be what I call the end of this one. I've not decided what we're going to do tomorrow. That's going to probably be a let's decide at the last minute thing. We're going to set that there for just a minute so that you guys can babysit that for me. Because obviously I cannot be trusted to put it somewhere that I won't lose it. And now into my corner. So hopefully, I won't forget where I put that tomorrow, and it'll be where we need it. So I am going to go ahead and wrap up there, and I will see you guys tomorrow, and we'll do something else, probably a fantasy picture of some sort, because that seems to be my thing of late. But I will talk to you guys next time.